What's the name of this next song?
The next song is Sign of the Times, which I think is also a Prince song, but I didn't know that at the time. Oh, because it's all about changing, times changing. This is my song all about Clarksdale, Mississippi. And Clarksdale, Mississippi is, you know, it's the home of the blues. It's the birthplace of the blues. W.C. Handy had a house there. The Tutwiler railway station is just down the road. We really started to get the essence of the blues when we went into Clarksdale. And I wanted to write a song about it. I wanted to tell the difference between a place like Clarksdale and English towns. I mean, there's many differences, but one of the main differences I noticed in England, we always tear buildings down, build a new one, tear it down, build a new one. Whereas in Clarksdale, you get stuff that maybe has just been left and it's just been left for decades. So I wanted to talk about how you can still see the past in Clarksdale. And then I thought, well, then rather than just write songs about a place and a place and a place, how about if we personify Clarksdale as like a woman getting older, and how I'd like it if we could respect wisdom like they do in, say, Native American tribes and things like that, and respecting the elders and seeing like lines on your face as wisdom rather than something that you need to try and fix.
What are the musical elements in this track?
So this was all about recording in New Orleans with my brass team that I put together at Marigny Studios. And I wanted to record with certain people in New Orleans. So I met James Martin when I was at the Spotted Cat, and he was interviewed on my film Back to the Source. And then I was talking to James about recording with people. I really wanted to record with Leroy Jones, Harry Connick Jr.'s trumpet player from back in the day, and he is really the soul of New Orleans. His playing, that's why Harry Connick Jr. used him, you know. We were also hoping of having Roger Lewis on baritone, who I'd seen Roger for the first time in Snug Harbour with the great Uptown Jazz Orchestra of Delfino Marsalis, and Roger was amazing, and we chatted afterwards, and I was hoping to have him on at the track. He couldn't make it on the day, so we ended up with we were very lucky to get Dan Ostreicher, and me and Dan later met up in London when he was touring with Trombone Shorty, and man, on baritone he's got vibe, so that was great. We went to Marigny Studios in New Orleans and we lined up the guys, and we managed to get a brass section that I'd arranged, and it really all came together, and we were able to get some great solos out of the guys as well. And there's a great James Martin sax solo on this track. It's a bit more modern. This is not jazzy or bluesy. This is almost pop, but I think it's quite nice to mix genres together to tell this story of Clarksdale, Mississippi, with a New Orleans brass section recorded in New Orleans, whilst personifying the city like a woman getting older and being proud of the wisdom in your lines. So on this track we've got me on piano, Alex Best on drums, Rob Anstey on upright bass, and in the brass section Leroy Jones on trumpet, James Martin on tenor sax, and Dan Ostreicher on baritone sax. And that's it. It is all about the brass on this one.
What's your favourite lyric?
I think my favourite lyric on this is, as the beauty outside of you changes, experience will show in your lines. I think that was a nice line. I was chuffed with that one. Whilst others write pages, your gift floats through the air. Whilst others write pages, as in your history gets written down, the history of Clarksdale is very much floats through the air as music. And as the beauty outside of you changes, experience will show in your lines.